How sweet it is. Welcome to the Garage and the Court of Public Opinion. Another week of podcasting around the world. And thanks to Facebook and thanks to you for following us. Pete's here behind the camera. Gary's here with a glass of wine. But we're recording this on Monday afternoon about 4 o'clock, so that makes it perfectly okay.
At 4 it's a nice idea.
Why at 9 o'clock it isn't? I have no idea.
Well, it could be.
Well, I'm French, I think. Different things in different parts of the world. On a serious note, my thoughts are with the wild birds, the seabirds, and also bird lovers. Tony Denton, who is the man responsible for the technology that allows us to sit at the dining room table on a Friday morning and broadcast all over the world to 7 million followers. He's a mad bird lover, so he'll be worried about his little bird, I'm sure. And the egg producers, people must be really worried about this horrible H5 bird flu. Terrible, fatal, nasty thing. Somehow strangely centred on South Australia. Anyway, to the news of the day, I guess. One Nation and Pauline Hanson, they've regained their top position. This is according to the Australian Financial Review, published yesterday. She is the preferred, once again, preferred Prime Minister, ahead of Labor and way ahead of the Liberals. Can you imagine all the meetings and the corridors and the back rooms?
Oh, they'd be terrified.
They would be terrified. Well, this can't be right, can't be right. Well, I sense it is. That Vox Pop that you might have seen on the weekend, this is where the television stations in their news services take out a camera and a microphone and stick it under people's nose and get an opinion. This was on the cost of petrol. Many people sort of said, well, we just have to go with it. What can we do? What can we do? You see, that's exactly what the government hopes for. Accept and surrender. The excise relief that we've been experiencing at the petrol pump has ended. And not one journalist stood up and said to the Treasurer, asked him a simple question, why are you removing that relief which is so important to people fighting your cost of living increases? Not one journalist questioned him on the government's wisdom in making that decision and jacking up the imposed excise with an indexed increase on top. What it tells me is that the government is more interested in their revenue take, our money, their income, more interested in themselves than they are in us. And our cost of living, which of course is something that the opposition could well jump on and point out as a product of Labor policies. Maybe the opposition just doesn't have the smarts. I don't know. It's as clear as day to me. If the government cared about our cost of living, it would have left that discount on the fuel. Petrol, like electricity, affects the cost of everything. It is a huge multiplier, as is the cost of diesel. And we will see that jump. That's going to cause the price of absolutely everything to go up. We move stuff around on trucks all over the country. If that becomes more expensive, we have to pay for it. Jim Chalmers and Anthony Albanese will tell us that we've had tax cuts. We've given you tax cuts. Yes, yes. 62 cents a day. What can you do with 62 cents a day? Frankly, these people are a disgrace. Here's a thought. Subsidies given to the electric car industry, they're enormous. I looked it up this morning. $23.4 billion by 2036. No wonder they're selling well. What's going to happen when that disappears? If it disappears. An amazing farewell speech by Jacinta Allan, former Premier of Victoria. She stepped down from the top job. She didn't get voted in and she wasn't voted out. It's an interesting thing. But Labor has been in power in Victoria for 10 years. 10 years of waste and corruption, indulgence, debt, crime, socialist claptrap. Presumably, they know it's all over. It was amazing to listen to her and her list of accomplishments. Lie after lie after lie after lie. I can't see how anybody can possibly see something in reality so differently to the way it actually is. Jacinta Allan was so proud of her short time as the leader. She was proud of the debt, $200 billion, biggest in the country. And the money which her government had spent, and let's be clear, it wasn't just her. Labor operates as a collective, and they make cabinet decisions, group decisions, and they have cabinet solidarity and discipline. So they can't really offload all that crap onto Jacinta Allan and say, we now have a new leader, we're under new management. The whole government should take responsibility for the debt, the corruption, the bankruptcies, the unemployment, the potholes, the crime, and the cabinet, every one of them, should take collective responsibility for the lot. A complete rewrite of history in her farewell speech. Nobody in the audience, I don't know, perhaps they felt sorry for her, but people could have pulled her up and asked her a few questions. They were, after all, journalists. As I say, how could she see reality so differently? It's totally amazing. Carjackings, home invasions, potholes, highest taxes, highest unemployment in the entire country. Sounds to me like, from her speech, that she wanted an award. She wanted to get an award for her premiership. She kind of hung on, which tells me she's a fighter, and that's good. She wasn't going to read the writing on the wall, the polls, the media, and just sort of leave quietly. It was only when she was confronted by her comrades, she called them comrades, and was told that the party was over by the party. This was after they'd all got behind her. Well, I suppose you can't stab somebody in the back while you're standing in front of them, can you? Anyway, she will disappear off into the dustbin of history, I'm sure, and leave the mess that she and Dan Andrews created. Remember, she was the Minister for the Big Build, corruption writ large, the CFMEU possibly as much as $35 billion, Minister for the Commonwealth Games, which cost nearly $1 billion and never happened. I imagine the people of Victoria will heave a sigh of relief. They'll get a royal commission into the union corruption, okay, but Ben Carroll will pick the commissioner and write the terms of reference. Jacinta will get her really big fat pension, probably somewhere around $500,000 a year. And when you take all the perks into consideration, it's more like $1 million. And that's for life. Farewell, Jacinta. A lot of comments on our postings. It was either last week or the week before. I do lose track of time. Here in the court of public opinion, let me tell you, it was about the Middle East we were talking. I am not anti-Muslim. I'm just anti-everything that is anti-Australian. I am pro-Australian. But if you're not pro-Australian, for any reason, I would love you to talk to me on Friday morning on the programme 0491 65 68 60 and tell me why. I'd like to find out why you're not pro-Australian. Peter Clayton, who is right there behind the camera, unearthed this article. It's interesting to know that the Muslim Brotherhood is banned or is a designated terrorist organisation in many countries, notably Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. It is not, however, banned in Australia. We would like to know why. I want to quote to you some words written by Jimmy Shamiri. I found this most interesting, as did Pete, and I'm sure Gary will as well. The Muslim Brotherhood does not need guns or bombs to change Europe. They openly admit that mass migration, demographic pressure, and ideological infiltration are now the tools of conquest. After centuries of military failure, they have found a softer, more effective way in. Exploit the West's open borders, legal protections and cultural gift to plant deep ideological roots, Islamic roots. Their leaders speak plainly, and they boast of placing Muslims in influential positions across Europe, embedding themselves through schools and charities, education, mosques, civil society, meaning local government, I guess, all under the guise of community engagement. One Brotherhood ideologue even said, "I expect Islam will conquer Europe without resorting to the sword or the gun or the bomb. We will do it by means of the media and ideology." And they're doing exactly that with the full cooperation of naive or complicit Western governments. This isn't some shadowy theory, by the way. It's a confessed, coordinated strategy, right out there in the open. They know that once they control the flow of migration, influence education, and weaponize anti-racist rhetoric, resistance becomes almost impossible. The goal is not coexistence, it is transformation. And they have told us that repeatedly. Meanwhile, our politicians trip over themselves to praise diversity. Pat themselves on the back. We're diverse. They also criminalise dissent, suppress any attempt to defend national identity. I guess you could read patriotism. The Muslim Brotherhood doesn't have to defeat the West. It only has to wait while our leaders hand the country over in stages. This is ideological warfare disguised as multicultural tolerance. And unless we wake up, tighten the borders, root out Islamist influence, and end political cowardice, we won't just lose control. We will lose the very civilization they came to dismantle, quietly, permanently, and with our own consent. The Brotherhood doesn't have to defeat the West. It only has to wait while our leaders hand the countries over in stages. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see all of this played out in real time right now in England and France and Scandinavia and other various countries in Europe, Spain of late. So before we find ourselves in the same pickle, wake up, Australia, before it is too late. If you can't or won't protect your borders and culture, you will lose both. You only have to ask an Aboriginal, and he will tell you from personal experience just exactly how you lose your country. Now, I'm sorry if that got a bit heavy, but I appreciated those words. And I will wish you a happy birthday, happy wedding anniversary. We're in a very fortunate position here in Australia. We've got this great big moat all around us. And if we destroy ourselves from within, and most importantly with this Canberra bubble and these lefties in Canberra, if we allow these people to destroy this great country and our potential, we deserve everything that we get. It's up to us. August 4, it is. Happy birthday. The date traditionally described to Dom Pérignon as the day he invented champagne.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, champagne. Apparently he had a lot of problems with the bubbles. He didn't like the bubbles. Spent a lot of time trying to get rid of the bubbles. What was the point? Well, how would you have champagne without bubbles?
You can't.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. The date was 1693. And this was the memorable day.
Cheers.
August 4. We'll drink to that. Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, British consort to King George VI and Queen Mother after his death, was born in Hertfordshire, England, died in 2002, but born in 1900, which gave her a great life and a fantastic age. Wonderful woman. Marilyn Monroe. We were just talking about Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Henry.
Mr. Miller's wife.
Yes, Mr. Miller's wife. One of her several husbands. Marilyn Monroe, American actress, some like it hot, 7-year itch, found dead of an apparent self-inflicted drug overdose at just 36 years old. Very sad. That was 1962. 1962. Hans Christian Andersen, Danish author of nearly 150 fairy tales, The Ugly Duckling, The Snow Queen, dies at the age of 70. Hans Christian Andersen. Danny Kaye played him in the movie, I reckon. Hans Christian Andersen. He died at 70. 1875 was the year, this was the day. Billboard's Hot 100 is published for the first time with Poor Little Fool by Ricky Nelson as #1. That was in 1958. Louis Armstrong, speaking of music, American jazz trumpeter and singer. Hello, Dolly. What a wonderful world. Born in New Orleans, Louisiana. He died in 1971, but he was born 1901 on this day. Adolf Hitler receives the Iron Cross, first class, for bravery, on the recommendation of his Jewish superior, Lieutenant, I don't know how the Germans say it, Hugo Gutmann. Hugo, you've got to be more careful who you hand out the awards to, I think.
Oops.
Whoops. 1942, the first train carrying Jews departs Belgium for Auschwitz. Dear, oh dear. Anyway, that's all history. And Daniel Hale Williams, American heart surgeon who performed the first heart transplant surgery, dies at 73. It was 1931 on this day. Robert Downey Jr., named the world's highest paid actor by Forbes magazine. He earned $80 million. 4 non-Hollywood actors make the top 100. 2015 was the year. Reg Grundy. Oh, golly, dear old Reg. Reg Grundy, Australian media and television mogul, Neighbours, Prisoner, and every game show that you could possibly think of, including the one I did for him. He was born in Sydney, New South Wales. He died in 2016, and he was born in 1923. And Caroline has written here, he believed in you. Well, look, when I did Blind Date for Reg, Reg knew the value of $1. And he said, look, I'm going to give you the show. You know, you've done the voiceover on it for a while, and you know the show better than anybody else, and you've got the show. The only thing is that the salary is $15 an episode. So there I was, a national television personality, earning $15 a show. But what I didn't tell Reg was that I would have probably paid him $15 to do the show. Anyway, James Brady, US Press Secretary, wounded during the Reagan assassination attempt, dies at 73. The year was 2014. Louis Vuitton, French founder of the Louis Vuitton brand of leather goods, now owned by the LVMH group, whatever the hell that is. He was born in France, died in... he died in 1892, but he was born this day in 1821. A 21-year-old George Washington becomes a master mason. Don't know much about masonry, you know, apart from the stonework. And Anne Frank is arrested in Amsterdam by German security police on this day in 1944. The Muppets, Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog, announced the end of their relationship.
Oh, no.
On Twitter.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, 2015.
Kermit must have been heartbroken.
And happy birthday to Barack Obama, President of the United States. First African-American president born Honolulu, Hawaii, 1961. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
The horse's birthday?
Well, horse's birthday is the 1st of August.
Is it?
Yes, it's the 1st of August. Horse's birthday. I'll check, but I think it's the horse's birthday on the 1st of August.
Sorry.
No, someone will tell us. I think it is. Anyway, we'll find out. You are out there, the encyclomedia. You know everything about everything. And we respect that. We welcome your input, believe me. But particularly on a Friday morning. And your comments from the Facebook postings here on a Tuesday and a Thursday. Thank you for viewing the Court of Public Opinion. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Believe in yourself, and goodbye for now.